Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for what promises to be a lively and informative discussion about the importance of cancer screening. I'm Dave Fredrickson, Executive Vice President of the Oncology Business Unit at AstraZeneca, and I am thrilled to be here today with my colleague, Dr. Susan Galbraith, who leads Oncology Research and Development at AstraZeneca, as well as our co-host for this event, the European Alliance for Personalized Medicine, and several leading cancer experts to discuss the future of cancer screening and what it will take to make this universal. Universal, a term we are defining broadly to mean cancer screening for all patients and for all cancers. Just a few months ago, right around ASCO, AstraZeneca joined up with the organization Cancer Support Community to host a similar debate where we tackled the complex question of whether we're ready to talk cure in cancer. That event was eye-opening because while advances in treatment have made cure feel like it's truly within reach, more progress is needed in delivering those innovations equitably to ensure all patients have access to the best care. And all experts agreed that driving screening is pivotal to ultimately achieving cures for patients. Some of the most incredible science is happening right now. We're coming off the heels of the World Conference on Lung Cancer, where we saw incredible progress for patients. And AstraZeneca will share more exciting data at ESMO later this week, all of which reinforce our ambition, finding and delivering a cure for cancer in every form. But in order to successfully deliver curative therapies to patients, we need to identify and diagnose those patients as early as possible. We know that the earlier cancer is diagnosed and treated, the better chance we have of delivering cure. We also know the opposite is true. When people aren't screened for cancer, they may miss detecting a potential disease when it can be cured. The recent cost of inaction report we published with the Lung Ambition Alliance noted that nearly 1/4 of deaths from lung cancer could be avoided in high-risk populations through targeted lung cancer screening worldwide. Screening and earlier diagnosis reduce costs for health systems because early-stage cancers can typically be managed with less complex and less costly approaches than those diagnosed at later stages, and can keep patients out of the hospital. No doubt, there are many complex barriers that exist to achieving universal screening, and that's a very important part of our discussion today, including how can we overcome these challenges. So on that note, let's get started. Our esteemed panelists for today's discussion represent a wide range of critical perspectives on screening. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Professor Denis Horgan, the Executive Director of the European Alliance for Personalized Medicine. Denis has extensive expertise in issue advocacy and health policy as the former director of the European Cancer Patient Coalition and a former policy advisor in the European Parliament. He's also worked with international NGOs on health development projects and is currently editor-in-chief of the Public Health Genomics Journal. Denis, it's a privilege to convene today's event with you and the European Alliance for Personalized Medicine, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dave, and I'm delighted that we're co-hosting it with AstraZeneca, which is a company that's really driven forward to tackle the issue around genomics and early diagnosis. So I'm delighted that we can share this platform and co-host this platform together today. I mean, screening has been a big issue, which the European Alliance for Personalized Medicine has focused on. The Alliance brings together different stakeholders, patient organizations, scientific societies, medical societies, including ESMO, as well as the European Respiratory Society, as well as payer organizations, and it acts as a bridge to policymakers. And one of the key issues that we have worked on since 2015 is the issue around screening. And one could say it's a contradiction in terms focusing on screening when we focus very much on personalized medicine, because we're focusing on identifying the patients. But there is a link, as Dave rightly said. How do we identify the patients earlier so that we can improve their quality of life? And this has been a crucial issue that we have focused on. But there has been a lot of discussion from different circles, from different stakeholders. When you ask different public health professionals, they all say this would be a great idea. But the question is, how can they make it happen in reality? And often other institutions can say, this is a very good topic to focus on in terms of identifying patients earlier, but often it can be perceived as fancy and expensive. And this links very much into the discussion around personalized medicine, because personalized medicine is about not about spending more money. It's about how do we allocate resources in society so that we can effectively improve the quality of life of patients. And this is the key issue which screening is focused on. It's bringing together the science and technology at a population-based level to focus on identify the patients earlier and bringing in technology. And now technology has moved forward quite rapidly. The question is, how do we bring this diagnostics technology into the healthcare systems quicker and faster? And this has been a key issue that we have focused on at a European level. And it has happened in breast cancer, cervical cancer, colorectal cancer in terms of screening guidelines. But in lung cancer and prostate cancer and other areas, there hasn't been the same focus. And the question often is whether it is efficient to do that. And I'm sure the panel discussion today will address this in different ways. So I will pass over to the chair or the moderator of the session, which is Caroline, and we're thrilled to have Caroline here today. She has been a staff member and now a freelance journalist and an anchor for CNBC in Europe, and she brings a great deal of insight to our panel, and we're fortunate to have her. And I will hand the floor over to Caroline. Please, Caroline.